Legend Story Studios is a great company, and they're doing a great job with Flesh and Blood. And I know you see me wave my hands, you see me shout at the camera, you see me make thoughts and opinions, ideas, conspiracy theories, and poke at things and delve into meanings and different things like that. But all that stuff, the whole purpose of me doing any of this is because I love the game and I think they made something really special. And I honestly think and respect the heck out of everything they've done with Flesh and Blood. Honestly, like 2020 was an amazing year. They really kicked the ball out of the park and they really showed that they know what they're doing. And not only do they know what they're doing, but they are too good at what they're doing. And really everybody is figuring that out right now and jumping on. And I really wanted to drive that home because I don't want you to think that I am always right and Bronson figured out everything about Legend Story Studios and Flesh and Blood. That's not my purpose here, man. I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions, ideas about what Legend Story Studios is doing and why they're doing it, and what all the news and hype and articles and everything about the game. I analyze this, I regurgitate it in my frontal cortex, and I blurb it out onto the screen and tell you what I think. But what I really think about Legend Story Studios, the company that makes Flesh and Blood, is that they are really passionate about this game. It shows with everything that they do. And not only are they passionate about the game that they love, and they're really great at producing an amazing game, they're also great at running a business and figuring out what to do at the business level. And I really respect the heck out of it. And I know that a lot of times I'll say, well, they made the decision of this because of this, and because of this and this. I'll put puzzle pieces together, but know that I'm only human, man. I'm just telling you what I think. But overall, if you listen to any of my videos where I give you my opinions or thoughts or ideas, I might say that the news says this and Bronson thinks this, but I always bring it right around to saying, well, they made this decision. I thought it was really smart play. Like they make really great plays, and it shows. Like the biggest thing that I think that they do great is, as a company, they are focused. And I've told you this already. They focus on one thing at a time. They make their objectives and they follow through on their objectives and complete them in order instead of trying to do too many things at once. And that's the biggest misunderstood thing about them, in my opinion. And I've told you, man, so many times that in 2020 they were putting the bedrock for the collectability of the game. In the future, they're going to focus on other stuff, but this is what they did. And when they did it, look what happened. They did amazing. The game of Flesh and Blood is really just skyrocketing to a whole comedic level that I don't really want to touch at this time, but I'm going to tell you that they are doing great with corporate focus, and they really showed that they did too good at their objectives. They got bonus points and beyond. Now, another thing that they're really good at is getting the news out there at certain times. And I've had so many little conspiracy theories of, oh, well, this news was delivered at this time because of this. And I know that all that stuff is more me just being conjecture and giving you my opinions and trying to dig deep in that stuff. And I know it doesn't make sense, but one of the biggest things to see with that is if you look at the collector center for Flesh and Blood, they released some of the print runs, but they didn't release the Welcome to Wrath print run, and they didn't release a good amount of other print runs for promos and everything, and they're doing it on purpose, man. They're doing it on purpose. They're releasing it at a certain time. They're trying to find a good time to release certain pieces of information about their game because they're smart. They know that the secondary market is going to react based on news that they give out. It's a known thing, man. And they realize that, and they realize different things that they can say in their news is going to make you react and make you act in a certain way. In my mind, I feel like there's many different instances over many other videos I've made in the past where I feel that they're really good at communicating to their consumers and the people that are playing their game about what they're doing, but they like to time things out to really not make a big fuss, not make everybody panic, but do things in order and at certain times, man. And I really respect that. And one big thing you could see, another thing is CFB and TCG Player. Those two news announcements came right before the unlimited product of Welcome to Wrath and Arcane Rising. You can see that Legend Story Studios is smart in the fact that the unlimited print run for their product was going to be tough because people they didn't know if collectors would care about the alpha print. And I know that sounds crazy now, but back in the day, let me tell you, man, it was a big worry. People were worried that Unlimited was going to come out and nobody care about the Welcome to Wrath and the Arcane Rising first edition. Boy, was that wrong. And who knows, maybe that's another conspiracy theory video for all the people who were thinking that, and maybe they were not thinking that and they were trying to get other people to dump their stuff so they could get in. Who knows about that? But but I went down a little rabbit hole there. I'm gonna peep my head back out of that rabbit hole and just say that they're really smart at releasing informations at crucial times. They knew that they had a partnership agreement with both of those places. They waited into a critical moment of unlimited releasing and they released that information then to drive up demand of the products and to make people buy the unlimited products, make sure that they're a success. So I won't go into other examples, but I'm telling you that they really do have their stuff together. We've also heard that they have either no debt or very little debt on their books. And let me tell you, for a startup company to have zero debt is just absolutely ridiculous to me. It's almost unfathomable that a TCG on a global scale has almost zero debt. That is ridiculous. And not only that, but they have a low amount of staff to manage the whole business. Their overhead costs must be like very, very, very low, and that's really gonna poise them for a lot of success in the future, because that overhead, man, those expenses really kill your company. They really eat it out from the inside, and they take all your profits and everything and make you do decisions that you don't want to do because you need to feed people in your company. So I feel that they are extremely well positioned as a company financially from what we've been communicated. Uh, but all these different things, man. Financially, as a corporation, like I just said, or communicating out through the news, or gathering certain partnerships or agreements, and going on to the big scale and focusing on things in order. You have to realize all these great things are really great of them to do. Like, they're really good at what they're doing for their game. And I really want to just leave it off and say again, like, I know that I do get hot and bothered and yell at the camera and raise my hands up, and I'll make all these things. But at the end of the day, man, I'm doing it because I'm passionate. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all about decisions or whatnot. I'm excited. And that excitement just makes me get at it and just yell at the camera and wave my hands and and really go all in. But I think that it's important me to just lay it out there that Legend Story Studios in 2020 has really showed us that not only can they be successful, but they are just extremely successful at what they're doing of creating a collectible card game for their trading card game and making it something that's big. Because I know something that's going to be lost over time is when I first started my channel, when I first got started into Flesh and Blood about 3 months ago, or in the early months of September. Yeah, it's already it's only 3 months, and I changed my opinion drastically. But things were a little dim, man. Like, everyone wanted Flesh and Blood to grow. Everybody wanted things to be successful. Everybody was hopeful, and we were all crossing our fingers. We were crossing everything. We were just really hopeful for the game, and we were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And now in December 2020, it's just so different. You have no idea, man. Like, now I've told people I don't have to cross anything. I don't have to wish. I don't have to do any such thing of hoping. I know that they're knocking it out of the park. I see that they are just launching out of this atmosphere and just going crazy out there in the secondary market, but also as a game, they're just selling out everywhere and people are just buying it up, and tons more people are coming into the game realizing that this is an actual thing. So the moral of this whole thing is that Legend Story Studios knows what they're doing, and I'm just a guy in a room, and I'll have my opinions, thoughts, ideas, but at the end of the day, I think that they're doing a great job, and obviously they know what they're doing. And let me tell you this is if you take everything that they tell you, or if you take Flesh and Blood TCG, the lore, the artwork, the story, the everything about them, the mechanics and everything, if you take that all at face value every single time and read something on your screen and believe it 100%, you are never going to understand this game. And I can say that with a very, very high certainty. Like, you will definitely not understand this full game if you just take everything at full value. There is depth in things. There's things that you have to think through. And maybe your opinion won't be right. Maybe you will be right. Maybe I won't be right and you'll be right. Who knows who's right or wrong? It doesn't matter. The point that I'm saying is that I have opinions. I use my frontal cortex. I say what I think. And I feel like that's important because a lot of people like to just believe what's on their screen, but there's there's a lot of depth, man. And to really understand what they're doing, you gotta read into things in life, man.